I want to use this moment to speak to the Muslims of New York City. I want to speak to the memory of my aunt, who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab. Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
Well, Mamdani, you know who else can't go anymore to the subway in New York City? 2,977 humans. Because your friends, the one who were forcing your auntie to cover her face with a hijab, decided to fly an airplane into the Trade Center, killing 2,977 Americans in the name of Islam. 2,753 people died, 343 firefighters, 72 law enforcement officers, 55 military personnel, over 2,000 civilians from over 90 countries. 184 people died. American Airlines Flight 77, 59 passengers and crew on the plane, 125 military and civilian personnel inside the Pentagon. 40 passengers and crew. United Airlines Flight 93. They took the plane down with your friends in it. The hijackers were likely targeting the White House. 2,977 humans, Americans, will never go to the subway. So spare us the crocodile tears. What is it with Islam always crying the victim card when they can't force Sharia law in your streets, on your women, on your children, on your daughters? What is it? Someone please explain it to me. Meanwhile, his homeboys in the streets of New York are preaching this.
We're done hiding. We're done. We're done being tortured and hurt and judged. This is the correct religion. This is the religion that all of humanity needs to be upon, of Islam. And we will not stop until it enters every home. So I want you to repeat after me. I want to hear it in every single district. It should tremble. Brooklyn should hear it. The Bronx should hear it. Queens should hear it. Say it as if the Ummah depends on this, my brothers and sisters. La ilaha illallah. There is no God worthy of worship except Allah, the God of Jesus, the God of Moses, the God of Abraham, and the God of the last and final Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam.
Mamdani is proven that you can't destroy a city in one generation. I mean, imagine after 9/11, someone will walk in your streets and says the next mayor of this city is gonna be a radical Muslim.
We came here to remake this state in the image of our people.
I want to remind you, brothers and sisters, that we as Muslims here in this part of the world have an agenda. What we are not trying to do is to assimilate into the American way. We're not trying to be like other Americans. That's not our agenda.
Who endorse Muslim Brotherhood, who supports all these things, or at least, you know what, he's not condemning it, which means a lot. Often silence speaks louder than words. Now let's listen to what a former Muslim have to say about Mamdani.
Islamists will never assimilate. Look at Zohran Mamdani, who was raised by millionaire elitist parents. His father is a Columbia professor, and his mother is a successful filmmaker who gets bankrolled by Qatar. They have more money than 99% of the American population and own properties in different parts of the world. They could have chosen to assimilate and adopt Western values, but instead his father says in his book, we need to recognize the suicide bomber as a category of soldier. Suicide bombing needs to be understood as a feature of modern political violence rather than stigmatized as a mark of barbarism. And like his father, he supports jihadists and doesn't condemn globalizing the intifada. They will say what they think everyone else wants to hear. They will lie through their duper's delight smiles. They will pretend to be victims of Islamophobia and be all about humanitarian causes only to get useful idiots on their side. Islamists are snakes. How do you think 56 countries became Muslim majority when Islam started only in one? This has been their pattern for 1400 years, except now they're using the same playbook in modern contexts to gain political power. They won't stop until the whole world bows to Islam. This is their core belief and it's never going to change. You'd think by now it'd be easy for the rest of us who value freedom and life to see through their taqiyya, but most of you don't even know what that is. When I was Muslim, I was told firsthand that it's okay to lie so long as it advances Islam. That's what taqiyya means, and we're all being played.
We came here to remake this state in the image of our people.
Any place outside of Saudi Arabia that have Islam as a ruling government became like that due to invasion, due to extreme acts of violence. And whenever the Muslim conquest of extreme acts of violence, of Muslim raiders who came and killed everybody and forced conversion on people or die, then they started using this tactic of coming inside your country and slowly converting people in your society, brainwashing their brains to believe that it's the greatest religion in the world, and then by that taking over your country. This is, ladies and gentlemen, jihad, a holy effort to expand Islam, to make it the dominant religion on the face of this planet. Because let's be honest, right after 9/11, if a Muslim would have came and said, I want to run for mayor, I'm gonna promote Sharia law, I'm gonna support Intifada revolution, I'm gonna... I mean, it's not gonna work. No one is gonna fall for that. So how do you make them fall for that? 1 generation, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, they're so good at it that it takes 1 generation to convince New Yorkers to think that this is actually a good idea. Let's keep watching.
Well, last night was the second big New York mayoral debate.
You've never had a job, you've never accomplished anything, and you've literally never proposed a bill. You had the worst attendance record in the assembly, and you gave yourselves the highest raise in the United States of America, and then you never showed up for work and you missed 80% of the vote.
He is a trust fund baby who tried to make a career as a bad rapper. He's 33 years old and is yet to hold a real job, and he's running for mayor of the financial capital of planet Earth. All of that is true, and Mamdani is trying to smile his way through it.
Just smiling, literally. I haven't heard a good, reasonable argument that should convince me why this candidate should be a good mayor for New York City. I mean, when you have someone that is a full-on communist, full-on jihadist, who comes in, a rich, spoiled baby, who doesn't have any real life experience, just have very rich parents, very radical parents, and you just start coming and sweeping your voters from under your feet and is winning, then you come and ask yourself a question: what is happening? How are people falling for that? Leave it in the comment. Give me a good explanation. And I'm being very genuine. I'm not trolling anyone. Give me a good explanation. Why do you think he would be a good mayor for New York City? Because I've heard many arguments that show why he shouldn't. So just honestly, just try to give me a good one, and I'll leave it in the comment and I'll do my best to respond to it. Maybe I'll make a video about it. Maybe it will change my mind and make a video about it. But from everything that I'm seeing, it just doesn't make sense. Anyway, the next video shows more Muslim people saying no to Mamdani and trying to wake up Americans to the danger of electing someone like him in such an important city like New York City.
We are Muslims against Mamdani. Ask us why.
Why are you against Mamdani?
First of all, do you know that Mamdani is supporting decriminalization of prostitution?
No. We don't want that.
No, we don't want that. Which is an NYC law that prostitution is not allowed.
Yeah.
And we are against it because every single religion of the world against prostitution creates morality issues. It brings a lot of disease. Do you want that?
No.
No.
That shouldn't be happening at all.
When there is prostitution, there is a human trafficking.
I had no idea.
When there is a human trafficking, there is a drug trafficking. Can you imagine what he's doing?
Honestly, I don't agree with it. What made you want to do this type of thing?
Because he's Muslim and we are Muslim, and we are saying you're doing a wrong thing. It's against the law, it's against the faith, and he's defunding the police.
That's what I heard, yeah.
So you're from New York, right?
Yeah.
As you know how much crime is going on.
Yeah.
Imagine if you have less police, do you feel safe at that time?
I don't think so.
Police working very bravely, very tirelessly for our community to keep us safe. No need to give the salary to police. Why? There will be no jail, there will be no police. You just imagine.
I actually love your point because I didn't know that.
You can't give somebody like that power.
Zach, you guys are Muslims too, and you guys don't support him.
He's not Muslim.
Right.
He does not. He's self-proclaimed Hindu.
Whenever he goes to a mosque, he says, I'm a Muslim. Whenever he goes to a mandir, Hindu mandir, he says, my mother was Hindu. He is misleading people. Just want to get the vote.
He lies about everything, basically.
Yes.
It's all that propaganda, you see what I'm saying? They want to get the people riled up.
He's an American who hides behind the concept of a religion.
Yeah, he's using it, everything.
He is the wrong person to be a mayor for this great city.
He can say many things, but actuality he will not be able to establish fair policy.
If you're against Mamdani, then who are you with?
I am voting for Como.
Como is our right mayor.
I think we're all on the same page.
You guys being out here is really cool because I gotta learn from people that are older, people that have more wisdom. So it's like I really respect and I really honor what you're doing.
It was great meeting you guys.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
What do you think? That Mamdani should be the mayor?
I don't think so.
I'm not his fan.
Should they vote Mamdani or Como?
Kumo.
Como.
Come on board.
If I was an American peaceful Muslim, I would be terrified from Mamdani being elected, because what that means for the peaceful Muslim community that actually is trying to integrate in America and not force a change on America and take away the Christian and Western identity of America, undoubtedly someone like Mamdani is gonna, 4 years from now, people are going to be just shocked by the results, shocked by the radicalization of New York City, by how quickly it would become unsafe place for Jews, unsafe place for gay people, unsafe place for any Western values basically that you have, and will start implementing Sharia law, and also will start bringing intifada revolution to the streets. And by that, someone like Mamdani, who tries to play on Islamophobia and keep saying it's a bad thing, he will end up actually causing an Islamophobia. People like him end up causing Islamophobia because on one hand, they try to silence you. Don't you even dare say anything about the atrocities that are committed under Islam. You're racist if you do. But on the other hand, they promote that kind of atrocities. So the people who get silenced, who get fed up, who start seeing the streets getting dirty, crime is skyrocketing, violation of human rights, and all kind of crazy things start happening, it will start boiling inside. And then what we'll do, it will bring that hate on a general crowd of all Muslim Americans, which is wrong. Because you shouldn't hate an entire group of people just because the color of their skin or because the God that they worship. But what will happen here is undoubtedly, and I think they feel it, they look at Mamdani and says, oh boy, he looks at his wife, Samira, listen, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. 4 years from now, after what he will do to our city and after what he will do to the entire nation here, the shock that people are going to get from that, it's going to bring a lot of heat, and that heat is going to be unfiltered, unchecked, and that is bad. And people like that, I admire them because they stand and says, no, we're not going to let someone like that steal our religion, destroy our reputation, and just put us out there. Because who's going to suffer in the end? Not the rich spoiled kid. Who's going to suffer? It's going to be the hard-working Muslim American family that is literally trying to assimilate in this country, see themselves as Americans, and don't teach their kids anti-Semitism and harbor all kind of racist, radical jihadist ideas. These are the ones who will suffer. The innocent, peaceful Muslims in your community, well, as long as basically everyone in America will suffer from that, because just look at Europe. Look what is happening here in Europe, and it's just black and white. Black and white, things went really bad for any place in Europe that endorsed Muslim Brotherhood, pro-Palestine movement, and in general just allowed Islam to take the lead. Whenever Islam becomes a majority in your city, problems starts happening. I mean, heck, look back at every failing Muslim country on the face of this earth. There's so many of them. As a matter of fact, the only ones who are not failing are the ones who are placing strict rules to contain the radical ideas that harbor in Islam and not let them just spread in and take over society. These are the only Muslim countries that are actually doing well. Dubai and etc. They come and they have so many rules against people like Mamdani, against Muslim Brotherhood, and they keep warning you, because the only way for Islam not to go radical, not to go extreme, not to start taking a whole country down and spiral it into a state of terrorism is by placing very strong rules that will not let them take advantage. And what happened in Western countries like America and Europe, you don't have these capabilities because you are a democracy, because the values that you stand on are equality and freedom of speech. So what happened is Islam unchecked will inevitably take advantage of your system, take advantage of every weakness that you have in your society, and will just use it to tear down your society and bring what they see as the Muslim Ummah, which is the complete opposite from the values that you probably stand on when you call yourself a liberal, a Democrat, a Republican, a citizen of the West, a Christian, or a Jewish citizen of planet Earth. It's going to be the complete opposite from what you want it to be and from what you can imagine it would be. It would be very, very bad. So anyway, guys, stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. And in general, don't do anything that I would do. And don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, the share. Help this channel keep growing. If you want to help me keep making videos for you, you can go and check my Patreon for practical, direct ways of how to do that. Because after all, I am doing this for free and out of my own free time. See you next time.